President Trump and top congressional leaders yesterday failing to reach an agreement to avoid a government shutdown during a private meeting held at the White House on Monday. After that meeting, Republican lawmakers pinned the blame on Democrats, with Vice President J.D. Vance predicting a shutdown this week.
We have disagreements about tax policy, but you don't shut that government down. We have disagreements about health care policy, but you don't shut the government down. You don't use your policy disagreements as leverage to not pay our troops, to not have essential services of government actually function. You don't say the fact that you disagree about a particular tax provision is an excuse for shutting down the people's government and all the essential services that come along with it. So if they want to talk about how to fix American health care policy, let's do it. The Speaker would love to do it. The Senate Majority Leader would love to do it. Let's work on it together. But let's do it in the context of an open government that's providing essential services to the American people. That's all that we're proposing to do. And the fact that they refuse to do that shows how unreasonable their position is. I think we're headed to a shutdown because the Democrats won't do the right thing. I hope they change their mind, but we're going to see.
Meanwhile, the top Democrats, Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries and Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, say they reiterated their focus on advancing health care policy goals.
Democrats are fighting to protect the health care of the American people. And we are not going to support a partisan Republican spending bill that continues to gut the health care of everyday Americans.
And when we talked to him about the other issues, he was not aware that Americans would pay, so many Americans, tens of millions of Americans would pay huge increases in their health care, bills because of the ACA expiring in December. And he was not aware that the real effect of that starts October 1st, not December 31st. So it seemed from his body language and some of the things he said that he was not aware of the ramifications of the treatise, the bad implications on health care for Americans.
Now, senators returned to Washington yesterday with no clear plan while the House remains out of session. Funding set to run out at 12:01 a.m. Wednesday unless Trump and leaders on the Hill can reach an 11th hour agreement. There was a lot to unpack from the meeting yesterday, but I thought the entire dynamic changed after everyone had left the White House and the president tweeted out an AI-generated video of Schumer and Jeffries that to me said everything about the way that the White House and the president were even contemplating negotiating, which is to say they never considered it.
Right. I mean, the meeting yesterday was about making sure that the Democrats couldn't say what they were saying before, which is that President Trump refused to meet with them.
And saving face.
And look, it is fascinating to watch Vice President Vance stand in front of the White House there and talk about how bad it is to shut down the federal government because literally last year, he voted repeatedly to shut down the federal government, right? So, and the shoes are on the other feet, and the same thing could be said that, Chuck Schumer has many times gone out there and talked about how irresponsible it would be to shut down the federal government. So you've got these two sides playing new roles in some ways. And there doesn't seem to be a lot of incentive for the Democrats to vote to continue government funding. I mean, on a substantive level, they would like to see the government continue to operate. On the other hand, they don't have anything to lose in terms of the House, the Senate, or the White House because they lost them all. Right. They don't want to see money go to the president who then, through Russ Vought, his OMB director, decides to withhold funding or try to rescind it, as we've seen already this year repeatedly from him. So, they don't really trust that if they fund the government, that the money's going to go where it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if you're the White House, you're in a pretty good position in terms of what the Democrats are offering is what's really politically good for you, which is to prevent the ACA subsidies from expiring and make sure that people have health care bills, I don't want to say that are low, but are lower than they would be if that expiration happens.
Especially if you're the party who won in the 2024 election, in large part because your standard bearer was out there saying, I'm going to bring down the cost of everything from groceries to every other cost that you have in your daily life. I think that's such an important point that you make because the off-ramp here is definitely Affordable Care Act subsidies. I know that Democrats have other things on their wish list, but they, I think, know and are realistic about the fact that this would be enough for them to say, we fought for health care, we exacted some kind of change. And we'll see ultimately if there's a deal to be made on something like that. But I don't see a way that we are not going into a shutdown. I also don't see how we get out of it.
Both sides want to fool around and find out. And both sides think that they will win that. The Democrats think they'll be able to say, look, Trump, the Republicans, they control everything. It's their fault. Republicans say, hey, look, the Democrats, have the filibuster ability, so they're the ones stopping it. We'll see. If everything falls apart, usually that gets blamed on the president. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But maybe everything won't fall apart. The Democrats will feel like they've exposed their own side as not having played this out right.
There's real people that get hurt in a shutdown. I've covered so many of them. People's lives are turned upside down. People who do not have a vote in Washington and don't get to sit around questioning who the political winner and loser is going to be. I think all of us really need to remind lawmakers and everyone of that here. But we'll leave it for now. NBC's Jonathan Allen, I thank you so much for starting us off.